Alright, hey YouTube, let's fucking go. Welcome back to a new video. Today we're gonna be talking about the Broncos and how they should go about addressing this coaching search and mostly like just what's next for them, like a broad kind of thing on and kind of like a review on the season. I hope y'all doing well. I hope y'all enjoyed your holidays. I haven't uploaded a video in a long time, in like a couple of weeks, or I believe before like the whole holiday break. Welcome back. Got a lot of things to talk about today. Who should the Broncos hire as their new head coach? What do you do for Russell Wilson and his, can he be fit? Will he improve next year? It's a lot of stuff going on with the Broncos. And I guess the first place, we should go about, talking about when it comes to the Broncos is, uh, alright, so I believe they have a couple of targets they would like to interview, or they started interviewing already. So right now, they already completed the interview with Jim Harbaugh, the coach from Michigan. He used to coach the 49ers. I believe he took them to the Super Bowl. Interestingly enough, him and Russell Wilson, they definitely have an interesting. I don't know if they're, well, technically Russ got the best of Jim Harbaugh a lot of times, I believe, especially in the, well, not just Russ by himself, but the Seahawks did when Russ was there. So that was like a fun rivalry between them, the Jim Harbaugh and the Pete Carroll, and then yeah, and then they also have another interview that they did today, which is on the 10th. The defensive coordinator, Ajiro Jairo Evero. I believe that's how you say his name. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm probably butchering it. But yeah, he's a defensive coordinator. And I don't know if he would be like my first choice for the end of like my first choice as a head coach. I'll like rank everybody on this list that they have to interview, and then the person that I want, who I personally would choose to be the head coach, and then we'll talk about other things. And then they have Sean Payne they need to interview, but I did believe that he did speak with the owners. I believe he said that on his broadcast with I forgot what his name is, but he does like Good Morning Football, and then they have the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, I believe, the D'Amico Ryans, and then you have the Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris, and then you have the Cowboys defensive coordinator. He used to be a head coach. He's the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. He did lead them to a Super Bowl, and he did used to be a defensive coordinator in Seattle when Russ was there for like the beginning of the Super Bowl run that they had. So yeah, the Legion of Boom. He was part of. I don't want to say creating it, but he definitely played a part in it. And probably at their best, I think they were probably the best under him, and which is why he got the job with the Falcons. All right, and then so this is one, two, three, four, five, six interviews they have to be done or they've done so far. And then, oh yeah, I just want to shout out Zach Stevens real quick. He's a good beat writer for the Broncos. If you wanna, like, usually whenever I'm following a new team or anything like that, the first thing I do is try to find some beat writers, just because they get stuff out quicker. Like, yeah, you don't have to, but it's just a good way to get some quotes from the players and stuff like that. These are the guys that you'll probably be getting it from. All right, so let's rank these on the total package. What you, if you have to give up anything for them, if you, how much would they cost, all that stuff, and who is the best from top to worst. And then I'll give you who I would like to choose out of this list and who I would want to hire myself if I was the Broncos owner. Uh, So there's a lot of defensive coordinators, and then I believe Raheem Morris is probably the weakest person here right now because if you've watched the Rams, they've taken a step back from like that team that they were, that defense. I know they won the Super Bowl last year, but the defense was so good when they were under Brandon Staley, and maybe that's not Raheem Morris's fault, but he's basically had the same pieces if and or they've gotten some better pieces when they added Bobby Wagner and stuff like that, and they've gotten more health and stuff like that. But the defense hasn't taken like that step to be dominant like they're supposed to. Like I don't think I've seen that from them this year. And the Jalen Ramsey's still there. Bobby Wagner's there, of course. Aaron Donald, I think he missed a few games, but Leonard Floyd, all those guys are still there. But out of all the defensive coordinators, I think he's the weakest one, I believe. And then Jiro Evero. Uh, the Broncos defense didn't have, they started off well, and then because of injuries to the defensive line, that's when the defense started to really fall. So I don't have anything to say bad about him. Don't yeah yeah they created a lot of turnovers. They did everything all right. But out of all these guys, I would probably rank him second to last, just because all the other defensive coordinators are either better than him, are either better than him or have that experience of at being a head coach. I don't know if the Broncos want to go in that route of hiring a new guy, not a new guy, but like a new hire. If they want to, if the guy that they want to hire, if they want him to have head coach experience previously, and I don't believe from the top of my head Jira ever has ever done that. But I did believe he came from the Rams also, so that's cool. Yeah, and then Dan Quinn or Demira Ryans. I think Dan Quinn is a safe choice, only because he knows Russ. He knows. He. I believe he's close with the general manager for the Broncos, and yeah, there's nothing wrong with like the rest of them. It's just Dan Quinn is kind of the safe option. He's like the Frank Wright, but more so on the defensive side. But yeah, I mean he's still a good head coach. Like he took his team to the Super Bowl. They did blow the biggest lead. They did, and I think in the Super Bowl. But like he's still a damn good coach. He was probably close to getting the job last year, but Jerry Jones gave him a blank check and he came back. And that defense is doing pretty well, I believe, before they had some injuries to their cornerbacks. But and then the thing is like there's some players on the Broncos defense that reminds me of like some of the Cowboys players defense, like Micah Parsons and Baron Browning. They remind me a lot of each other. They started off at linebacker, at off ball linebacker, uh, and then they move to become a defensive end type of player. But yeah, yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with Dan Quinn. Now, yeah, so let's move on. Now you have Sean Payton, D'Amico Ryans, and Jim Harbaugh. Now, what D'Amico Ryans is doing for the 49ers defense is nothing but spectacular. And you know it's all, I don't want to say it's all him, but Kyle Shanahan is not worried about the defense. Like, he's an offensive guy. He's paying attention to the offense 99% of the time. I'm pretty sure, like, he's not telling D'Amico Ryans what to run and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure D'Amico Ryans is running the team in terms of, like, defensive stuff. But yeah, yeah, you can't go wrong with D'Amico Ryans. I think he'd be a solid choice. You want to strain your strength. The only thing with hiring defensive coordinators is if your offense has any, uh, is just say your offense is like a top five offense. Your offensive coordinator is most likely getting poached for a head coaching job the next season, right? So yeah. Now Sean Payton and Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh has been coaching college football, I believe, for like the past few years. He just took Michigan to the college playoffs, but they unfortunately lost to Ohio State. Uh, no, not Ohio State, TCU. I'm sorry. They did beat Ohio State this year. And then Sean Payton, I don't think you can, like, you can't go wrong with these two. But in terms, if I was ranking them, I would probably rank Jim Harbaugh first and Sean Payton second. Only because of what you have to give up to get Sean Payton. Like, he's not going to come cheap. Like, you have to trade for him and then give him a new contract. And then he's also, I believe, a rumor to have already agreed or like made a decision that Vic Fangio, the previous Broncos head coach, would be his defensive coordinator. It is a new ownership. Like they're not the ones that fired him or anything like that. So I don't think there would be that much bad blood. Like, and it's not like he wouldn't be paid well. So I don't think that's like a big thing. If you told me like they were both Sean Payton and Jim Harbaugh were both free, then I'd say go get Sean Payton. He's dealt with short quarterbacks in terms of Russell Wilson. He's done all that stuff already, and he's well, he hasn't coached Russ before, but he's dealt with Drew Brees, and he's also a short quarterback. Although he's a short pocket quarterback, which is totally different from what Russ is. But I believe he could still find that success that he needs with Russ. I believe he could still fit him and get him back to playing his best. But I think the number one guy has to be Jim Harbaugh. You're probably gonna have to buy him out of his contract or something like that. I don't know the legality of everything, but Jim Harbaugh will be my number one. He's also fits quarterbacks. He fits Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick, I believe, was good under him. So he's good with quarterbacks. And it would be kind of fun to have Harbaugh back. And I know he's like a petty guy, passionate guy, and they need that. The second thing I want to say that these head coaches would need is they need to be able to control Russ. And I'm not saying it like Russ is some bad guy and doing all types of bad stuff like that, but you can kind of see him kind of he like most quarterbacks can push around the head coach, and I definitely believe that if he wasn't doing it with Nathaniel Hackett, he it was like probably here and there with them. But yeah, you want that guy, that leader that's gonna tell Russ, "Hey, go sit down. You're not getting in office. You're not getting this. You're not getting that." I mean, yeah, you need that type of guy in the office that will lead the team. That's their primary job, to lead the team, not lead Russell Wilson, not lead the defense. You need a guy that can lead the team, and I believe most of these guys can do it. The first four guys can do it, I believe. So yeah, and then so my choice for what's it called? My choice for uh Broncos head coach would be, I believe, Shane Steichen. Funny enough that the Chargers game is being I put down in the background, but he used to be Justin Herbert's offensive coordinator when Justin Herbert broke I believe, the rookie record for most touchdowns or something like that. That was previously held by Russell Wilson and what's it called, and Baker Mayfield. So yeah, so he knows Shane Steichen, the Eagles' offensive coordinator. So he knows the division, and then he's also having success with running different types of offense with Jalen Hurts. So like Jalen Hurts, I like coaches that can adapt to what situation they're in, and he's shown that he can. He's gone from a pocket quarterback, he's gone from a running quarterback, and they still having success. If Jalen Hurts doesn't get hurt this year, he's probably the MVP. And the I mean, they still got the number one seed and all that. But if you listen to Eagles fans, they'll tell you that the reason why their season last year kind of changed was because I believe their head coach's name, Nick Sirianni. I'm probably butchering his last name, But yeah, he after he gave up play calling, that's when their offense took off. Kind of, that's when they started improving. So just because, just like when that's already a check mark for me. Like, oh, guess what? The team looks better because he gave you a play calling duties for the offense. Hey, guess what? That just proves to me that he can not only design a good offense, he can call a good offense. He can do all that. So like, and then you can definitely partner him up with Elijah Evero because I said Elijah Evero because I don't think a first time defensive coordinator will get a job uh, unless he interviews really well. And there's like, and the thing is that as a, I don't know if he wants to accept any job. Like, like I think he should go to a situation where like there's the only situation where I would go if I was him is probably the Colts because they have like sort of a good defense. They got some pieces there so you can work with. I wouldn't go to maybe the Cardinals. They look like a good spot maybe, but yeah, or the Panthers actually. Panthers are probably the best choice for him. They got a good running game, good D line, good corners, good online, and yeah, he can definitely improve with that team. Like he can run the ball. The things that they'll have to find a quarterback, but I believe the new owners would give him that time to find that quarterback. If not, then they can just keep Sam Darnold. He's not horrible. He's not great. Like he's just Sam Darnold. But yeah, yeah, Shane Steichen would definitely be my choice. But I do think they're gonna go with Jim Harbaugh. There's a lot of connections there, and then yeah, I think Jim Harbaugh would be a good option. Like there's not, I don't think there's unless you're picking the Everos or the even then I don't think Evero would be horrible for the Broncos as long as he can command that respect from the offense and stuff like that, and from Russ, and because I know he's got the defense's respect and all that, and they'll probably go out and fight for him and all that. But the thing is, can he get the respect for the from the guys on the offensive side of the ball? Can he call a game? Can he coach a whole team? It's a difference. Some guys are good coordinators, and some guys are terrible. Good coordinators, but terrible head coaches, and we see that a lot in this league. So, if I was him, I would try to come back as a DC unless I get one of those prime spots that I listed earlier. But yeah, so yeah, let's kind of move on from the head coaches search and all that. Uh, what's next for the Broncos after, let's say, they get their head coach, right? Sorry, my mouth is kind of dry. I believe what's next for them, the major weakness that I see of the Broncos is their offensive line, right? I believe Russ got sacked over 50 times this year, so you definitely want to fix that. And then linebacker will probably be another spot that they need to fix. They're good on corners, I believe, unless you can get another corner, but it's not, you don't need to like it's that's not a need for you like the other two positions. And if you could get another defensive end, that you can never have to like the trenches are the key to winning. Like you can never have too many good online. You can never have too many good defensive linemen and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah, they should definitely beef up into the trenches. Make sure Russ is protected. Make sure they can get after a quarterback. Because I don't know if Randy Gregory will be. You'll be able to rely on him, and definitely a linebacker. I believe that's next for the Broncos. And then I think Russ can make that step. Like he's shown flashes post Hackett. I believe they scored back to back games over 20 points, so that's good. They scored 30 points against the Chargers team. So yeah. Uh, so yeah, I think Russ can be fixed. Clearly, I'm biased. I'm a Russ guy, and I'm gonna clearly think that he's gonna be good and all that. But yeah, I think they'll be fine. I think he'll be fine in the long run. It's hard being. I know Brady and Stafford went to a new team, but those guys had established cultures there for them. They didn't have a new head coach. The team didn't have a new head coach. They didn't have only this. They were literally a quarterback away from winning the Rams and the Buccaneers. So like, yeah, the Broncos were not just a quarterback away. You can say they were a quarterback and a head coach and like a few three other players away. By the way, look at that throw that Russell Wilson just made. Crazy. But yeah, I think Russ can be fixed if you want to say that. I believe he can get back to a top five, top 10 level quarterback, and you don't even need that from this team. Like an average year from Russ, you probably get in the playoffs because how bad he was this year. Like you probably win a couple games with just an average performance from your quarterback. And if they had like 20 guys on IR, you get some of those guys back, you're good. You're good. Like you get Tim Patrick back. Jerry Judy has proven he's wide receiver one. I believe Cortland Sutton is a year removed from that ACL injury, I believe. And if when you listen to guys that talk about that, they say that's the difference. Like that year is really when you need that year post that injury, post you coming back to really be yourself again. So you got Cortland Sutton coming back, you got Tim Patrick coming back, you got KJ coming back. Greg Dolchich is a good tight end. Albert O, I believe, can be a good tight end. Javante Williams is coming back. And then the running back room, you could literally bring your running backs from this year back. You bring Latavius Murray back. You can bring Marlon Mack back also. That's a weird sentence to say. But you can use him as a returner, as a third back, as that explosive back. And then you have Chase Edmonds out the backfield, and then they'll all be there. Plus, Javante Williams should come back sometime next season. So you have a lot of guys you're gonna get back, and that will be good for you. And then on the defense, I believe you're gonna Caden Stearns back, DJ Jones. I forgot the other Jones guy that plays defensive tackle for them, but you're gonna get a lot of pieces. Like I know everyone is saying this is the worst job out of all of those, but I believe the Broncos can be, if not a playoff contender, I definitely think they should make the playoffs next year. But it wouldn't surprise me if they go to the Super Bowl next year. That's not out of the realm with like how good their defense is, and if you have a great defense, you can run the ball. That will get you to the Super Bowl, and then you follow that up with average quarterback play from Russell Wilson. Obviously, you're not paying him for that. You're paying him to be like the superstar to take you over the edge to do all that stuff. But I believe even without that stuff, he can still be a good. He can still be serviceable. Like you don't need him to be an All Pro quarterback to get you over the hump and get you to that Super Bowl, which they made that trade for. But yeah, anything positive you get out from us, I believe you can. But yeah, I believe. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. What the Broncos should hire, who the Broncos should hire in terms of the head coach. Who should they target in terms of free agency and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of things that they have to get right in the summer. George Payton, the GM, like he's drafting and signing for his job right now. It's not like if he has another bad year like he did this year, then yeah, he's out of a job right now. And Russ was probably gonna be closing. It's probably gonna be looked at like he's out of the league and stuff like that. But yeah, uh, y'all comment down below what y'all wanna see. Y'all check out my podcast, Off the Field. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff on this YouTube channel. It's not just gonna be sports videos. I wanna post gym stuff. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff on this channel. But yeah, yeah, keep checking out the videos. Keep liking them. Keep subscribing. I believe we're at 11 right now. But yeah, keep subscribing. We're gonna get where we want to. I just have to be more consistent. Keep making fire content and stuff like that. But yeah, if y'all want me to talk about a specific team, just let me know. I can do some quick research on them and stuff like that, and then come back with a video for y'all. But yeah, let me know what y'all want to see from this channel, what y'all want to see from me, what can I improve on all that stuff. Like, it's at the end of the day, it's this is videos for you guys to watch and stuff like that. So definitely let me know, because I know when I watch YouTubers, there's certain stuff I wish it did better, and they're most of the YouTubers I watch are like big, they're like big content creators. So like they're mostly good with what they're doing. But yeah, I'm as a small content creator that's growing. If you guys have any questions on what I need to do to improve, just let me know. All right. Anyway, on YouTube, make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're checking out the videos, and follow me on IG. Follow me on Twitter so we can talk there. Anyway, but yeah, have a good one. Enjoy yourselves. Make sure y'all drinking y'all water. Make sure y'all doing everything well. All right. And YouTube, we'll see you fucking later.